You've seen the ads, luxury bunkers with Netflix and heated floors. But here's the thing nobody wants to admit. Most people who build them will never actually survive in them.
Welcome back. Today we're talking about the brutal truth behind survival bunkers. And trust me, the reality is way darker than the marketing brochures suggest.
First things first, let's address the elephant in the room. Do you know what kills more bunker dwellers than anything else? Spoiler alert, it's not radiation or starvation.
It's cabin fever, psychological collapse, and the absolute crushing weight of isolation. Your mind doesn't care about your stockpile when it's screaming for sunlight.
Studies show that humans confined underground for extended periods experience rapid psychological deterioration, depression, paranoia, even hallucinations. Your bunker becomes a prison. But wait, there's more. Let's talk about the infrastructure nightmare everyone glosses over. Your bunker needs air filtration, water recycling, waste management, systems that fail.
One power failure, one clogged filter, one broken pump, and suddenly your sanctuary becomes a coffin. Do y'all have the technical skills to fix it? Most people don't.
Here's something bunker companies absolutely hate hearing. The cost-to-benefit ratio is insane. You're spending 6 figures to maybe survive 6 months.
Meanwhile, that same money could set you up with land, skills, community connections, and actual sustainable survival infrastructure. But that's not as sexy to sell.
Let's talk about the social time bomb. You're locked underground with your family or group for potentially years. Relationships deteriorate at an accelerated rate.
Imagine being stuck with the same people in a confined space, no escape, no privacy, no fresh air. Conflicts that would normally diffuse become explosive. Domestic violence increases in bunker scenarios, mental breakdowns accelerate, and here's the kicker, you can't leave, you're trapped with the problem. Now let's address the security paranoia. You know what happens when desperate people discover you have a bunker full of supplies? They try to get in. You're not just protecting your bunker from random looters, you're protecting it from neighbours who know you, people you used to trust. That's a different kind of nightmare. And here's the brutal truth. Most bunkers are discovered eventually. Your location becomes known, your supplies become a target, and you're outnumbered. Let's talk about food. Everyone stockpiles canned goods and thinks they're set for years. But here's what they don't tell you about long-term bunker nutrition. Your body needs variety, nutrients, fresh produce, things you cannot grow underground. Scurvy, nutritional deficiencies, and metabolic issues emerge faster than you'd think. Plus, let's be real, eating the same freeze-dried meals for months destroys your mental state even faster. Food becomes a source of depression, not survival. Water, everyone thinks they've got it figured out. Stockpiled water, purification systems, recycling, but water management in bunkers is exponentially more complex than people realise. Contamination happens, systems fail, and suddenly you're rationing water for drinking, hygiene and waste management. Sanitation becomes a nightmare. Disease spreads faster in confined spaces, especially when water systems fail. You're not just fighting external threats, you're fighting biological ones. Let's talk about the financial trap. Bunkers require constant maintenance, upgrades, repairs, and specialised knowledge. It's a money pit. And here's the thing that really gets people. If you never use it, you've just spent hundreds of thousands on an underground tomb. If you do use it, you might not survive it. The prepper community won't tell you this, but bunkers are often the worst survival strategy. They're emotional purchases masquerading as rational planning. Real survival isn't about hiding, it's about adapting, building community, developing skills, and creating sustainable systems that don't require you to be imprisoned. If you're serious about survival, invest in land, learn agriculture, build relationships with neighbours, develop practical skills, and create redundancy in your systems. A bunker might keep you alive for 6 months, but sustainable living keeps you thriving indefinitely. There's a massive difference between surviving and living. Now, if you absolutely must have a bunker, make it a secondary shelter, not your primary strategy. Use it as backup for short-term scenarios, not long-term habitation. And for God's sake, actually practice living in it before disaster strikes. Spend time underground, understand your psychological limits, test your systems.
Most bunker owners have never spent more than a few hours underground. They're completely unprepared for the reality of extended confinement.
Here's what actually works in collapse scenarios: diversified resources, geographic flexibility, strong community networks, and the ability to move if necessary. Bunkers remove your ability to move, they lock you in place, and they create a false sense of security that often leads to poor decision-making. The survivalists who actually make it through collapse scenarios are the ones who adapt, who think creatively, who don't rely on single point of failure infrastructure. So, if you're thinking about dropping serious cash on a bunker, pause. Ask yourself, am I doing this for security or for ego? Be honest. Because the truth is, the best survival strategy is boring, unglamorous, and completely free. It's preparation, knowledge, and community. You don't need a luxury bunker to survive. You need a plan, a network, and the mental toughness to adapt when everything goes wrong. That's the truth about survival bunkers. Nobody tells you because it doesn't sell bunkers. But now you know. What will you do with this information?